Anica Walls. Anica is, as many of you know, is the president of SEIU Local 1000, which has 96 or close to 100,000 members by now. Anica was a former disability evaluation analyst from the Department of Social Services, and she focuses on strengthening union power, securing fair contracts, protecting telework. I still remember last year when she went up there and she was saying, hell no RTO, and she was on TV and so on. So it's my immense pleasure to connect with my friend again, Anica Walls. Anica, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Bobby. Such a sweet introduction. Yeah, I always forget to say, yes, I am the proud president of SEIU Local 1000. It's never really about that, right? It's about all the other stuff Bobby was talking about, all the good work that our union is doing. And if you are on this call and you are not yet a union member, I would strongly encourage you to join us, especially right now. Not very many people know that our union is doing some really cool shit right now. And excuse my language, but I say that because it's true. We're not the union of before. We are a fighting union. And I think now more than ever, we are working in coalition. I think just like you heard on this call, working in coalition and making sure that you have the right voices in the room really matter. And that's very true in unions too, right? And so we're working in coalition with other state employee unions like ASME, like CASE, like CAPS, UAW, to bring together and to talk to one another about what the state is offering us as state employees. And that's really critical, right? Because we know that in big organizations, they win by dividing and conquering us. And the more that we stick together, the more that we talk to one another, the more that we address these issues. I love that you guys are doing this in this forum. Some of the stuff that you're bringing up and to some of the people you're talking to, critically important. Y'all, I asked my question the way I asked the question because we see these grievances and these reasonable accommodations being denied almost daily, right? And sometimes occasionally the request is a little outlandish, but 98% of the time it's not. It makes sense. It could be accommodated. It does help us retain the institutional knowledge. It does help us fill vacancies where some of us have extreme workloads rather than a teammate who could be working right with some reasonable accommodations. Bobby, thank you for recognizing. Yes, I'm actually still a state employee, y'all. The state really that's the paycheck that I get, just like all y'all. And so I am still currently a disability evaluation analyst. So when I'm at my desk, I read medical records and decide whether or not people are physically or mentally disabled enough to receive Social Security disability benefits. So I see these denials in the customers that we serve and their constituents of California. But at the union level, I see these denials from our state employees, right? When they're trying to just do the work to keep this state running, and managers will incorrigibly fight them on it tooth and nail. And so thank you for being on this call. Critically important for you to get involved now if you haven't already. Thank you to Assembly Member Hoover and to Assembly Member Lee who are co-sponsoring the bill, AB 1729. Y'all, telework should matter to everybody, right? For our environment, for our work-life balance, for the congestion, for CO2 emissions in the air, right? For all of these things, for the amount of money that it saves, that return to office can save the state. There's a gazillion reasons that it makes sense to continue in somewhat of a hybrid fashion and to figure that out at the department level rather than a blanket mandate like the governor's trying to do. And so, I do encourage you to stay involved. If you're on this call, you're already doing something, maybe just a little bit more. Get engaged with the union, right? Make sure that when you're in these meetings, you're asking those questions. Are our voices actually at those tables? Because yes, you can have CalHR in the room. Yes, you can have the Department of Rehabilitation in the room. But if they don't have real life experiences of the small, like what I would call insignificant denials that we get, that will, in some cases, like I think some people have said, could potentially kill your career, right? Like, why wouldn't you want to work with that person and allow for them to continue doing the great work that I know they're doing, right? All of our state employees do amazing work. So I wanted to just give you guys also some stuff just in case you're not connected. Every month we have a Ask the Officers call. That's opened up to everybody. It's also streamed on Facebook. So if you're unsure, you still kind of like, I'm not, yeah, I don't know that they're doing cool shit over there. Like, get on, ask questions. The executive officers, want to make ourselves available to people who kind of don't know and want to ask questions and maybe are a little curious or doubtful of what our union does for state employees. So please get on those calls. They happen every second Tuesday of the month. Like I said, you could register, you could get on our email, our website and register that way, or you could watch us on Facebook. So it is streamed live every second Tuesday of the month. We also have, again, like I said, cool shit. June 10th, y'all, we're going to be doing actions, right? Actions all around Sacramento, all the big hubs, the big cities. So Los Angeles, the Bay Area, the Oakland area, probably here in Sacramento, it'll be around. We'll be doing various worksite actions to get loud. It's going to do various things like wake up call, right? Wake up call to the state. Like, we're the ones who keep this damn state running. And like, to get some of those, as you guys know, really engaged teleworkers in the mix, right? It's also should cause some congestion downtown. Let's caravan and make some noise, right? And for all those managers, if there are any on here, please go tell them that we're going to make a lot of noise and we're going to cause a lot of ruckus because this matters to us, right? This matters, and we're going to fight for what we deserve. And so get involved June 10th. You could reach out to your organizer. You could call the 866 phone number and let us know that you want to engage, that maybe there's not a steward at your work site that could, that maybe you need help getting like this little solidarity break together. The other big one is likely going to be on or around July 1, right? When it matters, when we're really in deep with our contract negotiations. So again, if you don't know, we are in contract negotiations now. If you haven't been getting the emails and you want them, let us know that. We've been at unit tables. And on the 27th, we go, I believe it's the 27th, we start master table bargaining, right? So that's the big things like the money, the GSI, right? Probably things like telework, right? Will all be discussed and have been pushed to this master table. So all good information for you to get out. Let your coworkers know. And maybe you're just the person saying, hey, did you check in with the union? Like they're doing some stuff. Like we are no longer just letting shit happen, guys. It's not that time. Everything happening in the world, we got to stand up for our rights. Workers need to unite. So not only is it the contract are we knee deep in a contract campaign, but we have AB 1729 running, critical bill. We also have, for those of you who maybe have employees, if you're like a state employee family like mine and you have your mama and your husband and everybody else working for the state, like you might have family members in the institutions. MOT is another big bill that we're running, right? We Local 1000 are supporting a lot of these bills that are speak to what our workers need. So if you want to be connected, please engage us. And let me make a suggestion. When you're talking and making these calls about AB 1729, talk about with us, amongst us. It's good to say that telework works for all the reasons that you guys mentioned on this call. When you call those assembly members and then when it's time to call the senators, talk about modernizing government. That's what they hear. That's what like perks up their ears, right? We save them money. We modernize government. We're the ones who do the work. Let's show them how to do it more efficiently and more effectively and save Californians money. So when you're making those calls, think about it in that lens versus the work-life balance lens, even though both are equally true, right? We want to say things that are going to perk up their ears and make them want to pay attention. So get involved, make those calls. I am always available. I think I hand out my number like candy, and you would be surprised how many people do not call me. So, and my husband even is like, oh my God, right? I don't care. 916-804-5338. That is my work number. If somebody needs a hard conversation or you think I can't do this, I don't want to have this conversation, have that person give me a call or tell me, hey, I got this person. I would love for you to contact with them. This leadership really wants to engage membership. The only way that we grow is to stay connected and make sure that we are hitting all the things that matter to all of us, right? Those GSI, this healthcare, this retirement, all the other things we'll get to, but we got to make sure that we're strong on these big ticket items that matter to people, that are deeply, widely felt, right? So I have a couple of minutes for a couple of questions, and then I'm actually off to another meeting. But if anybody has any questions, please feel free and get engaged. Always, you could reach out to our 866 call, or you could call the number I just gave you. So thank you.
Alex, you have your hand up, so go ahead.
Thank you, Anica. I appreciate that. I'm going to read some questions that I saw in the chat. First one is, where can we find information for the calls you mentioned about the SEIU meetings?
Okay, so are we talking about there were two calls that I mentioned. One was the ATO, and then these calls that you can make to your assembly members right now for AB 1729. All that information actually should be on our website, SEIU1000.org. There should be like a template for you to make calls, be able to connect with your assembly members, but there should also be that information on, we call it the ATO, the Ask the Officers call. And like I said, that happens every second Tuesday of the month.
Okay. Another question is, how do we stop the mail and emails encouraging us to cancel union membership?
Oh, thank you. We be trying to cancel those too. Actually, there are in some departments, we have been successful in being able to get some of those emails blocked. It is a departmental thing. I mean, that like probably one of the biggest agencies or organizations that sends these out are the Freedom Foundation. You'll see the Freedom Foundation on there, and they, try to trick you and make you believe that you're saving all this money. Right? We have a much better show over here. Like our resources are so much better, but we actively try it. What I will try to get those dismissed. Unfortunately, like it's right. They have the option because we are public servants. Like they could do information requests and continue to get the information. That is just something that they have the right to, just like we have the right to make information requests. So what I recommend is to trash it. You can also send it to us and let us know, because we do track and we try to, right, like I said, reach out, try to stop things where we can, when we can. So the knowledge is important for us to know, but mostly, just don't pay attention to it. It's BS. Throw it in the trash. Let your steward know. You could always give it to one of your organizers as well, just so that, again, we know what it is and which ones are going out at that time. They're really good about doing it around the holidays. Anyway, just trash. It's basura. Thank you, Alex.
And one other question, generally, this question is asking, does SEIU have a disability advisory committee? But I'm wondering if there was, I guess more generally, a disability committee.
There is, yes. And we have just recently been sending out to our members, not our represented, but to the members, the opportunity to get engaged into these committees. So it is something that doesn't require you to be a steward, but it does require you to be a member in order to engage in some of these committees. And we do have a disability committee that we just actually got a chair for. Mr. Frank Askin is the new chair of the accessibility committee. And they haven't really started doing too much stuff, but they have a lot of great ideas. So all the committees are kind of just getting restarted now. So if you're a member and you're interested, give a call to the MRC. And or give me that call, because Teresa, our secretary, we're the ones who work on that specifically. I'm the one who makes the appointments to the committee.
Okay, thank you. And is it okay to put your email address in the chat? Somebody's asking for it, or
yes.
Do you prefer it? Okay.
No, I will say that I'm much better. I represent 100,000, y'all. So like literally I can be on the phone all day, every day, or on a meeting. So text is a really good way to say, hey, are you available now? Or can we chat now? That's usually the best way right now, to be really honest with you. I'm sitting on 300 emails and I'm trying to go through them like by tomorrow. So I'm normally really good. But email could be a way, if I've had a busy week like this week where I just have not, I've been traveling. Sometimes it gets behind, so a text is better. But email is awalls@SEIU1000.org, or that phone number again is 916-804-5338. And I encourage you also, like if I remember feeling before I was even in these seats, right, in elected as an elected official, I remember feeling like I had to go find my executive officers. I had to go see them somewhere. If you want us, me, David, he's down south, Delon, when he's in town, right, as the board chair, if you want us to come to your work site, give us a call and let us know. Like, that's our bread and butter. I love being in the work sites. I love coming to visit you guys to see what we could do. I even love when necessary. I don't do it often, but sometimes we got to give these managers the business. So, give me a call. Please get engaged. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call.
All right, Anica, I understand you have to leave, find parking and all that. So
downtown, I'm telling you, it's no fun. Parking downtown is no fun.
I know. I feel your pain, so I try to avoid that area much as possible. Thank you again for joining us. Please stop by anytime if you have, and I wish you best of luck with the negotiation that's going on. And once again, it was really good to seeing you again.
You too, Bobby. It's good. Bobby used to be one of our stewards who was really involved, like really heavily involved. So if you want to be a steward, we also got all that good stuff and all kinds of good trainings coming. So please get engaged in your union, our union. Y'all, like I said, I'm a member. We run it, right? We actually, members run this union. So get engaged, get involved, because that's how we change shit, right? Is by getting involved and being a part of that change. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate you. And adelante. Let's go. Let's go, Local 1000. That's my little tagline. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.